What's going down, everybody? It's your boy, That Guy My High, tuning back in for another reaction. And this time we got the biggest music industry screw job ever. Part dos. You dig what I'm saying? Part two. You already know what's kind of going down. And I'll reiterate a little bit for those who are new and haven't been following this whole situation between Tom MacDonald, Adam Calhoun, and Billboard. Basically, we now have found out that Billboard doesn't know how to count and, add up their own numbers, and they don't even do it themselves. You know what I'm saying? They hire a third-party processing company that basically right now is calling Tom a liar, him and Nova a liar, basically telling them that they're not selling the amount of records that they claim that they're be selling, physical copies, and that they're not going to sell that amount this year either with the album The Brave that Tom and Adam just put together. Super crazy thing. Tom and Nova offered the whole back end of the office, on the website so they could see these numbers real time, real life for themselves, and they didn't want to take it. You know what I'm saying? So we're just, it's all over the place, bro. You got Adam destroying his Billboard plaques and shit that he worked hard for. Like, it's crazy. So without further ado, let's just jump into this, man. Record the screen. I'm already, bro. Hit that full screen. And let's see what Tom's talking about now in part two. Let's see how things have progressed since the last time we touched base on this topic. So let's go.
Welcome to part two of the biggest industry screw job ever. Now, I've got good news, I've got shocking news, and I've got bad news. Here's a quick recap.
Well, damn. Hopefully the good news outweighs, the bad news. And hopefully the shocking news is more like more good news. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully the shocking news is more like more good news. Yeah.
Unlike everybody else, the physical copies of our new album, The Brave, will not be counted towards the Billboard charts. The good news is we are #1 independently on 8 different Billboard charts with our new album, The Brave. And that doesn't even include solo artist charts. That's just album charts. Billboard even wrote an article about how incredible we did. So first and foremost, thank you.
Hold up. No, we're not going to say thank you. We're not. No, because these were things that should have happened regardless. We're not going to say thank you. We're going to be like, you did your job. Thank you for, damn it, I said thank you. I don't want to say thank you, but you did your job, Billboard. You guys shouldn't have even took this much effort, or we shouldn't even had to sit here and make a point like that. You realize that the people just made this album #1 on 8 charts, bro, on Billboard, like all digital copies. So now imagine if they were able to add on and toss on these physical copies, bro. Let's be real. This would have happened way before, we got to this point had they just included their physical copies from the jump. Just saying. So I don't feel like an apology is necessary. I feel like it's very big and it's humble of Tom to sit there and give a thank you. You know what I'm saying? But I don't feel like it's necessary. You know what I mean? I feel like they need to come back and apologize to Tom, Nova, and Adam. You dig what I'm saying? We do apologize for not believing in you and taking the time to look further into this to make sure that we were accurately reporting your record sales, because god damn it, Tom and Adam, you guys are outselling a lot of goddamn people in this mainstream industry, and this is amazing. Like, it should have been praised, not sat. You shouldn't have been criminalized before you know what I'm saying, given opportunity. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I feel. Anyways, my bad, y'all. Y'all know I'm getting really intense with this one. Get real tense.
This is an incredible feat to accomplish for any artist, even major label artists. And we did it independently. And when I say we, I mean me and Adam and Nova and all of you guys.
Facts.
The 8 #1s you see on the chart.
Shout out to everybody who was out there downloading your digital copies. Yeah, shout out to all the people who bought physical copies, all the people who, went to the actual website and got physical, signed copies or whatever. But the digital copies in this particular situation were the most important, because those were the ones that were being counted for the charts and could not be denied. That was it. They could not be denied. Let's go.
Right now only exist solely because of you. I pointed out what I felt like were injustices. I let you guys know that I felt like we weren't being given a fair shake, and all of you rallied with me. This is literally
because that was real.
The machine can accomplish. The most valuable tool of change is one very simple thing: information. I gave you all the information I had about how they were doing us dirty and screwing us on these charts. And let me be very clear, we did not get the change that we were after, but we made a massive impact. And speaking of powerful information, I have more for you.
Hold on, before we even let him get into that, you know what? The reality is he may not have got the change that he wanted right now. But the reality is now that Tom and Adam have both taken the time to speak up, Nova included, let me not forget Nova, Tom, Adam, Nova, they all taking the time to sit there and use their platforms and speak up and give the information out there, the proper information, all the information, at least what they could divulge, and you know, not water down the situation. You know, sometimes some of the conversations can run on and on and on and on. So they gave all the important information, the relevant information that would give you a full understanding or scope of the situation, right? And from there, like, yeah, we were able to see and understand exactly what was going on. And yeah, I fully agree that 99% of us who watched or seen or knew anything about this situation went and downloaded our digital copies, maybe try to do it on a few phones, you know, different accounts, because we had to make a point. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we all understood we had to make a point. You dig? Point made.
Let's get into the bad and shocking news, shall we? First of all, y'all remember that data collection company we were talking about? The one who reports all of our downloads, streams, and views to Billboard? The one who refused to count our physical albums towards these charts? Well, that data company and Billboard are both owned by the same global media company. I just found that out, which explains why Billboard took zero action when we reported to them that the data collection company was refusing to count our physical sales. We just gotta suck it up and move on. And like I said,
wow,
I don't really have a problem.
That is sorry, bro. But I mean, it goes to show how, you know, big mother companies will sit there and buy up, you know, a bunch of smaller companies that are super important, but then make them work together while still separating or operating, you know, as individual entities. You know what I'm saying? You see it a lot where, you know, you'll see like an umbrella situation where you got the, you know, the mother company up on top, and then you got all these little strings of companies that kind of, you know, divvy off of the mother company, and all operate essentially as their own business until, you know, you start tracing them back up and you're like, oh, there's one person or a group of people that are making decisions for all of this. Okay, yeah. So it definitely does make a lot of sense why he wasn't getting anywhere with Billboard or with the data collection company, because he was, in retrospect, dealing with the same people up above.
Billboard's always treated us really good, but I'd be lying if I said when I found out that they were a part of a massively dysfunctional system that it wasn't extremely frustrating and disheartening. Billboard, I am hella disappointed in you. Anyway, let's get into the specifics about the
I said it on the last one, on part one. Billboard's trash, bro. I don't watch or care about any of those goddamn lists anyway. I understand that those lists are like the only way for, you know, independent artists specifically, and even, you know, mainstream artists, but mainly independent artists specifically, to try to rate, give themselves like a good range or gauge of where they kind of sit within the industry amongst the big dogs, amongst the, you know, industry players. So, I mean, I do understand and see the importance of them and why they can be important to people, like independent artists. But as a fan, I can give two shits. Because I always felt like them little things and them lists and all that was rigged, bruh. Rigged. I'm just going to say it. Yeah, that's how I've always felt.
Released today. Remember that article I talked about that Billboard released about how incredibly successful our new album was? Check this out. It says, and I quote, Tom MacDonald and Adam Calhoun's The Brave bows at #1 on Billboard's top album sales charts, selling 16,000 copies in the US in the week ending March 10th, according to the data collection company. Now, note that they are only referencing digital copies when they're talking about these 16,000 units. It goes on to say this. Elsewhere in the top 10 of top album sales, Dolly Parton's new Run Rose Run starts at #2. One Direction's former #1, 4, re-enters at #3 after a new vinyl release. Now, further down in the article, they reference Dolly Parton and One Direction again. Also, shout out to Dolly Parton. She is a badass and a legend.
She is a
my
badass?
girlfriend Nova loves Nick Jonas, so shout out to One Direction too. Or did Nick Jonas and the Jonas? Whatever, who cares? Anyway.
Right, I was just about to say, bruh. I mean, whatever. I understood what you was trying to get at. You know what I'm saying? Because I would have made the same mistake. So I can't even sit there and flex or front or talk shit because I would have made the same goddamn mistake, bro.
And I quote, of Run Run Rose's 15,500 copies sold, physical sales comprise of 11,500 and digital sales comprise of 4,000. One Direction, who Nick Jonas is not in, One Direction's former number 1, 4, returns to top album sales, re-entering at number 3 after a new red vinyl pressing was released exclusively via Urban Outfitters. In total, in the week ending March 10th, 4 sold 9,000 copies, nearly all from vinyl sales. So they're counting Dolly Parton's physical CD sales.
Of course.
And they're counting One Direction's vinyl sales, but they're refusing to count mine and Adam Calhoun's physical CD sales.
Yes, because they don't believe you, they didn't believe you, and they were putting a target on, not even a target, but they was basically just being like, you're guilty. You know, like the whole criminal system. Like, we're just like, you're guilty till proven innocent type situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I feel I feel about this. You know, instead of sitting there and letting Tom further explain, not even further explain, but taking what him and Nova gave the first time, going and looking at the website, which honestly I still think was super crazy of Tom and Nova to even offer that. But they could have went and looked. They could have went and did any sort of research on Tom. You could literally go to YouTube and be like, Tom McDonald, search him up, and you'll see a whole lot of videos with millions of views, bro. A whole lot of videos with millions of views, okay? You can go to Spotify. You go to, or not Spotify, but I'm pretty sure Amazon and iTunes is the main 2 digital platforms that he would release stuff to. And again, I mean, the catalog is like 3 times, 4 times even longer on the digital side of things. So like, or not say the digital side of things, but just in general, like there's so much shit. Like from the songs on the digital streaming, from the videos, music videos that he does for the songs that make it to the digital platforms, to all the CDs and everything else that he does. Like, bro, you know how many merch packs this dude sold? You know what I'm saying? Like he be doing 6ix9ine numbers with merch packs, dog. He be doing 6ix9ine numbers with CDs. Like, come on, bro. Like, the shit is nuts. And he should have been counted. It should have been counted. I'm still gonna, Billboard, you trash. Trash.
Real freaking cool, guys. Real cool. Now, you might be wondering, Tom, I get it. They wouldn't count your physical CDs, and that's a pain in the butt.
But they should have.
What difference would that really make? Aha! Let me tell you exactly how big.
Probably like 30,000 fucking.
At the beginning of this video, I told you about the 8 number 1s that our new album, The Brave, had racked up. However, there are 2 very important charts that I did not mention. The Billboard Top 200 album chart and the Billboard Independent Albums chart. Let's get into how we did on those charts, shall we? First, let's look at the Billboard Top 200 charts. Easily the most prestigious of all Billboard album
Right, that's like the only one that people really care about when they do care.
14th. Had our physical albums been accounted for, we would have landed at number 2, with less than 2,000 units separating us from the number 1 spot on the most Billboard album chart in existence. That's a difference of 12 very important spots. And that's a big deal, dude. Furthermore, that's
like a lot of money difference deal. Like, think about sports. Like, do you like when you get drafted, right? Any sport. When you go in round 1, you're gonna make more money than people that went in round 2, round 3, round 4, right? And then the further up in round 1 that you make it, the more money you're gonna make than the people that made it further down in round 1. Like, that's just how it fucking works. So they took away potential opportunity, potential, fucking money. Like, you straight took checks out this man's pocket, bro. Not saying that Tom is hurting for the money or that was even like the goal or the reason for why he won, but still, like, I still be thinking about that shit. Bro, not only did you crush a dream, not only did you stop me from achieving something that is fucking amazing to do as an independent artist, but then you also took some checks and opportunity from me? Oh, nah, dog. Oh, hell no.
Release our physical albums and our digital albums on the same day weeks ago. But because of our extremely long, frustrating, and ultimately pointless conversation with the data collection company, we were forced to change an entire 6-week campaign and release our digital albums and physical albums on different dates. Now, this is the craziest part to me. Let's take a look at the Billboard Independent Album charts. Our new album, The Brave, charted at number 4. You might be wondering, how is the biggest independent album with 8 number 1s 4th on the independent album charts.
Yeah, that don't make any sense at all.
How Billboard defines independent. And I quote, though not clearly defined, an independent record label is generally considered to be any label that is not part of the big three record companies, which consist of Sony Music Entertainment, Warner Music Group, and Universal Music Group. Okay. Billboard cites the following definition for use on their top...
Okay, so like, what? Bro, that is like the most vague, dumbest rules ever, because the reality is probably 90% of the people on that list probably shouldn't be on the list because they may be signed to a label that's not directly one of those three. But most of the record labels that are around are still somewhat associated or affiliated with Sony, Warner, and Universal. Like, make this shit make sense to me, please. Make this shit make sense to me, please.
Independent albums charts. For Billboard charting purposes, defining an independent album is done on a title level and based on its distribution. Okay. If an album is sold by an independent distributor or one of the major labels' independent distribution arms, it is classified as an independent title and can chart on our top independent albums tally.
What? So they literally wrote it in there that's like, as long as it's like directly not affiliated with Sony, Warner, or Universal, they won't be counted. But if you have your own record label that is just co-signed or affiliated, sister company, whatever, it's okay. Make this shit make sense to me, bro. Oh, man. Right. What?
Does not exclude record labels owned by other large corporations from being classified as independent. Okay, buddy.
Right. Throw that shit. That is trash.
You could not write this if you tried.
You couldn't. They wrote it.
They wrote it and
right. They tried. They wrote it. And they made this shit a reality. God, like that. Like it does. Oh, that shit is ass backward. It don't make no motherfucking
sense. It's horse hockey. So
it's a horse hockey.
Independent albums charts. You don't even have to be independent. You know, this whole thing is wrapped up in so much bureaucracy.
Yeah, that don't even make sense.
Parent companies and conglomerates and monopolies and blah, blah, blah. It's like, can we just admit at this point that the game is rigged? Major
facts, and I've been saying that shit.
Have the entire industry on lock.
I've been saying that shit.
The independent awards to the truly independent artists. This is the independent albums charts. You can...
Right, and if you go back and look at that chart, bro, like, yeah, like all these people pretty much are affiliated with somebody, like King Von, affiliated with, shit, I can't even remember which one what's their big mother company. I think it is fucking Universal. But regardless, King Von was not fully independent. I don't even know who this... That's fucking Disney. Like, come on, bro. Like let's be real about that one. Bad Bunny. I don't think that she is independent either. Like, Dolly Parton is not independent. Like, what? Like none of this shit makes any goddamn sense, bro. Like, at all. Anyways, let's continue. Like I said, 90% of that list probably shouldn't even be on that list. In reality, like when you really look at like what an independent award should be, Tom is definitely right. I definitely agree with him that there's probably far more people on here that should not be on here. So yeah, let's go.
You can do your own research on the chart, but in my mind, you don't have to look any further than number one. Encanto, distributed by Disney. Disney's independent?
Right. That's what I said. Like, come on, what?
Disney's net worth is $97 billion. They have their own streaming channel on Apple TV. They're one of the most renowned household names on the planet.
Right.
You're telling me that it's appropriate that Walt Disney competes with us on the same charts? So your answer is, our new album, The Brave, is number 4 on the independent album charts because in no way, shape, or form
is it independent?
These charts accurately represent truly independent artists.
At all.
The independent artists who write their own music, produce their own music, release their own music, invest all of their time, money, and energy into the success of their own music without any help from any record label of any kind. And no 97 billion Disney dollars either. So don't get me wrong. These 8 number ones are extremely cool. It's a demonstration.
But it's trash though. It don't mean shit. This is why I said what I said in Adam Calhoun's fucking reaction. Like, it was funny that he destroyed that plaque, but it wasn't funny at the same time, right? Like, it's funny because it really puts in perspective how meaningless these awards really mean and how meaningless these charts really are. And again, like, he shouldn't have had to do that because he did, like, Adam specifically doesn't do anything with physical copies. This is the first time he did anything with physical copies. And he earned that Billboard that he had off of straight digitals. And then had to pay for the Billboard, which was nuts. But anyways, shit still blows my mind. You got to pay for your own fucking plaques and billboards and shit like that. And then even I found out you got to pay for your own fucking like Hollywood stars and shit. Like, fuck out of here. But anyway, yeah, man. Like, this is why I said what I said in the Adam Calhoun reaction. Like, I'll reiterate it. These charts are meaningless. They do not accurately represent shit. And it's super sad because, again, like I said in the beginning of this reaction, these are the charts that independent artists have. This is the only way that they really have to be able to kind of gauge and judge where they kind of sit within the industry amongst all their peers. And really, this you can't even really truly gauge accurately or even somewhat accurately because they're not reporting accurately. So back to this reaction.
But as cool as these 8 number ones may be, they are not the Billboard Top 200. And to go number 1 or number 2 or even top 5 on the Billboard Top 200 can have a real major positive impact on an independent artist's career. These 8
I said that. It took opportunity and checks out this man's pocket.
Absolute bare minimum.
Facts.
And expecting us to dance around our living rooms in celebration. Look, I'm not being ungrateful, but looking at something from the outside in doesn't always give you an accurate picture of the situation. You can use this quote across the many varied situations that you'll encounter in life. If we celebrate the crumbs, then it is crumbs that we are given. So instead of celebrating, I will just say that I am.
Oh my God, I love that quote. He said, if you celebrate the crumbs, it's crumbs that you will be given because people will expect you to be okay with crumbs. I'm not okay with none of that, bruh. That's why I know I'm a bad employee because I don't want to work for you. I want to own it. You know what I'm saying? I had to realize I was a bad employee. I was meant to work for myself, bro, because I was not satisfied with the crumbs that people wanted me to be satisfied with or content with. And it just wasn't going to happen. So, yeah, I feel that shit. That's real life, y'all. We all need to live by that, bro.
Out of all of us rising to the occasion together. I will say that I am incredibly thankful for each and every single one of you who joined me in this charge against the mainstream music industry. I will say that I will forever cherish these accolades and look back at this situation as a massive success. But I will not celebrate a small victory when we were screwed out of the opportunity to win the war. So the fight continues for all independent musicians everywhere. And the fight will continue until we're given the same appreciation, respect, and acknowledgement that all of the major label artists are given by the powers that be who have deemed them worthy. The music industry has once again found a way to screw the little guy. But that's not a reason to stop. It's a reason to go. One way or another, there will be a positive revolution within the music industry in regards to independent artists.
Facts.
And we'll be able to look back on these videos and this situation and this point in time
and be
we'll
like,
be able to say,
you remember that shit?
I was integral in that.
Yep.
We were the torchbearers that started that revolution.
Facts.
No matter how many losses it takes to get there, we're part of history.
Y'all done pissed off a beast. Y'all done pissed him off, man. He's coming. He's coming.
Thank you once again. It's Hangover Gang forever. Peace.
Gang, gang. Hey. Yeah, shout out to Tom. Shout out to Adam. Shout out to Nova. Shout out to the album The Brave, man. Shout out to everybody out there that watched this video, that watched any of the other videos, whether it was mine, Tom, Adams, Simba's, you know, any of the people who really just helped push this movement along. Shout out to everybody, bro. Shout out to everybody out there who supported, who bought physical copies, who bought digital copies. Again, the digitals were the most important right now. But again, I don't want, you to feel like your physical copies didn't mean anything, because you buying physical copies still financially helps support Adam and Tom, and helps them continue to keep making content, keep going, keep grinding, keep pushing things in the limits. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, this was one of those situations that like Tom said, we didn't necessarily win the war, but we definitely came home with a couple battle wins and you know, a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of, you know, just readiness. We ready for this fight. You know what I'm saying? I think everybody's ready to just do what they got to do to support their favorite, you know, independent artists. And like Tom said, you don't got to just be Tom and Adam. There are tons of independent artists that obviously are not being treated fairly, and the best thing you could do is support them, man. Download the digital content of all your favorite independent artists and make sure that they are being compensated correctly and being able to touch these charts in a real way. You know what I'm saying? So that they can have more opportunities and see more, you know, potential success, bro. So, but I love y'all. There is no me without you. Always remember to live high. Honestly, tell you, genuine, humble. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.